Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with your homeless friend Kai. Today, we're going to be making an egg sandwich slider with some Golden Grill hash browns. We'll need a roll that I got from the food bank, an egg. Fun fact, eggs are good for up to 2 weeks without refrigeration. So you can have them out at your camp without ever actually needing to refrigerate them. I'm going to use a little bit of this cheese here, salt and pepper, and I found this mason jar lid ring in a dumpster, and we're going to be using that today. What? I washed it. I think. Okay, so the first thing we do today is we're going to open the carton of potatoes. And it says add hot water to fill line, and the fill line is just below the angle of the carton. So I'm going to be adding a little short on the hot water, so I'll be adding close that up while we more water here. On these, it says add hot water to fill line. And set for 12 minutes. And don't worry, you're not gonna have to be watching the whole thing wait for 12 minutes. I'm just getting it hot on the stove real quick. While we're doing that, I am going to take out my roll. We want the squarest one possible. Ooh. And I think that's going to be this one. I'm going to take my handy dandy found by the side of the road and sharpened kitchen knife. And we're going to slice the roll in half in preparation for okay, so hot water is hot. Okay, perfect. Alright, now we're not going to use that pan anymore, so we'll put that away. Close the top of this so that it holds the heat in, and set that aside. And wipe down my cutting board to make sure it stays clean and dry. A wet cutting board breeds bacteria. When you're out at camp, you don't necessarily have to get your utensils, pots, pans. You don't have to necessarily get them absolutely positively clean, but you have to get them absolutely positively dry. Bacteria cannot grow on a dry surface. Also, I found sometimes scrubbing your pots and pans with sand works in a pinch. Okay, so I'm going to pause this, move the camera back over to the stove, and we'll get back to you in just a second. Okay, and we're back. So first thing is to turn the stove on. We want it to a decent medium heat. This is our gas one butane stove. Thanks to a lovely donor, Tracy. We have 7 full cans of fuel at $3 a piece. That's $21 in tax worth of fuel. But each can lasts me almost a week of cooking on average. So that's almost a couple months worth of fuel right there. Okay, so we're heating up the oil. And one of the things we want to do is take our ring, and we want to get a good coating of oil on that. We're not going to use it just yet, but we want it good and coated with oil so that our egg doesn't stick to it when we use it. And first things first, we're going to take our roll and we're going to toast it on the inside. But this extra step makes it taste so much better. Get a paper or styrofoam plate out. Oh, there they are. Alrighty. Okay, let's check. Okay, our roll is perfectly golden toasted, and when you're doing this on the stove, you want to take your roll and set it on your cutting board or counter surface. Look how beautiful that is. Beautifully toasted. You want before you put it on your styrofoam plate to cool, because it does melt your styrofoam plate. Okay, our oil-coated rings going in. Take our egg, and we break it right to the center of our oil-coated ring. Now we want the egg to cook as thoroughly and quickly as possible all around so that we can flip it fairly easy. So I'm going to add a large capful of water and put a lid over it to trap the steam in. And we're going to steam cook that egg. Be careful when you do that. As you can hear, it spatters oil really well. And you don't want to get trapped in that. Oh. Make sure you have a lid handy. Okay. Woo! Yowza. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down a little more. Jesus Christ. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Alright. Let me turn down this a little more. Alright. shake some of the moisture out of the lid so it stops dripping back into the pan. Oh. Okay. Now, ooh, that was scary. I don't know why I attempted to do a Jamaican accent there, but alright, now that we have spatter cooking all everywhere and can't really get any footing to push our chair around, alright, so we're going to attempt to pull our oil ring. You see how easy the ring came off on that? That's because it had a good coating of oil. Now, I'm going to very carefully flip the egg over, turn off the stove, place a little bit of cheese on the top. And put the lid back on so the cheese will melt. I'm going to pause that for a second. Okay, so we're going to take and plate our egg sandwich slider. Put the egg on top of the roll. A little shake of pepper. A little shake of salt. Don't shake that much salt. My salt shaker's clogged, so don't think I'm dumping a whole bunch of salt on it. And there is our egg sandwich slider. And in a second, we'll get back to the stove and we'll start on the hash browns. Okay, so on the stove to a medium-low heat. We're going to use our ring again. I put some oil in the pan and I'm going to get a good coating of oil on our ring. Remember what I said, a good coating of oil is very necessary. You saw how the egg came out really well earlier. I'm going to start the ring in here to heat up with the oil this time. And, take some of our hash browns out of the container with a fork, and we're going to start loading them into our ring. Press it into a ring here. And we're going to let that cook for a minute. And I'll get back to you when it's time to flip. Okay, so it's been about a minute, minute and a half, and I'm assuming that the underside is nice and crispy. You see how easily that well-oiled ring pulls off there? Well-oiled, the best way to do it. And then we're going to flip our hash brown patty. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Golden. Just golden. And I like to continue to rotate my pan here because this butane stove, it doesn't always heat evenly. In fact, it doesn't heat very well in the center. It heats the outside ring pretty well. Yeah, it's great to cook with. I love it. Just have to trial and error, get used to it. Once you are used to it, it's amazing. Yeah, the hash browns should be just about done, so we're gonna move you over to the plating area. Okay, back over our plating area. And to flip our hash browns again, make sure they're equally done on both sides. Then very carefully move the hash browns onto the cutting board to cool for a bit, because if you put them directly on the styrofoam plate, as you can see, I have melted the side of the styrofoam plate just a bit there. But yeah, you will be eating styrofoam with your meal. I don't know how healthy that is. Yeah, I want to thank all my wonderful donors. I think it's cool enough we can plate it now. I want to thank all my wonderful donors for enabling me to have this beautiful kitchen out at my camp here. And wonderful meals like this. Please hit like and subscribe. And feel free to donate a few bucks to my PayPal account. Little pepper here. Little salt. For keeping this show going and helping out with other projects. But yeah, it's a breakfast with your homeless friend Kai. Thanks a lot for watching.